Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along lately, you know I've been putting in some serious hours on Roadcraft, and honestly, I've been loving everything Saber Interactive has been putting out. From SnowRunner to World War Z, they just know how to nail that satisfying gameplay. So today, we're checking out their latest, Docked. I'm excited to see if this scratches that same itch, so let's jump straight in.
Tom, there's a container ship at the pier. Barely made it here. Took heavy damage in the storm and is still taking on water. It also has some dangerous cargo on deck. So get on the STS crane and get it off there. You remember STS, right?
Ship to shore, Dad. Yes, I remember. I'm on it.
Tommy, those containers on top have got to go. The ship is listing pretty badly.
Got it.
Wow, this is exactly what I wanted from a game like this.
Tom, the weather's getting worse, so turn on the crane lights just in case.
All right.
Also, the boom's been known to freeze while lowering.
Thanks for the heads up. I'll use the upper booth to keep an eye on it. I'm going up.
Good.
Sorry about that, so where was I? Oh yes, this is exactly what I wanted from a game like this. Being able to actually step out of the vehicle and walk around in like this changes everything. It's a massive step up from the cabin-only gameplay I'm used to in Roadcraft. Being on foot really shows off the scale of the machinery. You don't get this perspective when you're just sitting in a driver's seat. Hopping in the lift to head up to the 4th floor, let's see how the rest of the facility looks from up there. And here we are, 4th floor. Wow, good thing I'm not afraid of heights, because the drop from up here is no joke. The scale of this place is just insane. Alright, let's get down to business. I'm heading to the controls now. The goal is to get this crane boom into position. Let's see how the physics feel. There we go. Engaging the boom.
I never left.
Good. How about a little party tonight at Jay's to celebrate your return?
If you're buying.
For my favorite musician and best friend who's been away for ages? Of course.
Yes, it's been a while. I missed you too.
See you there.
It's so satisfying to watch this massive structure move from this perspective. Being able to step out of the cab and actually see the machinery in motion like this, Saber really hit the nail on the head. Right, let's head into the operations room. This is where the real work happens. Also, just so you know, I'm playing on the standard difficulty. The controls themselves don't really scare me, but the financial side of things, that's what's actually worrying me. I still don't fully understand how the money works in this game yet, so hopefully I don't go broke while I'm still learning. How far is that cabin? There it is, finally. And here we are in the operations room. First things first, I need to get the main system powered up. Let's see. There we go, power is live.
Ready.
Welcome to the STS Crane Training Program. To start, position the cab over the desired container.
Hey, how do I shut this stupid voice off?
You don't. I turned it on to refresh your memory after the long break.
Okay.
Now, you'll notice I've still got all the control prompts and UI elements cluttering up the screen. I'll be honest, I'm still getting the hang of how the system works, so I'm keeping them on for now so I don't get lost. I promise as soon as I get more comfortable, those will be gone for a cleaner look.
The crane spreader is currently configured to grab standard 20-foot containers. In your manual, they are also referred to as TEUs, or 20-foot equivalent units.
So Tommy is asking for the training assistant to be turned off. I really don't get it. I find it useful, and it doesn't bother me at all. The first mission is up on the screen. Move these 20-foot containers to the designated drop zone using the spreader. Time to see if I can actually pull this off without making a mess.
To lift the container using the twist locks, you must lower the clamps directly into the container slots and secure it.
So the controls are pretty simple. I use the L stick to move up and down, the RTLT triggers to go forward and backward, and the R stick to move left and
The
right.
container outline on your crane's MFD is filled green. The yellow and red lights are on, indicating that the container is ready for gripping. The container outline is shaded, the yellow and green lights are on, indicating a secure grip. Now you can safely lift the container.
Just be careful there. Those containers have some nasty stuff inside. One puncture and we'll never hear the end of it.
Don't worry. Be careful.
Also, the controls I mentioned are for an Xbox controller. I have no idea how they work on PC. We need to be extra careful with this cargo. It's highly dangerous, and if we hit anything, it's going to be a total disaster for both me and the crane. Did you see that? While I was saying the cargo is extremely dangerous, I was actually experimenting with the first-person view to see how it looks and how I handle the crane from this perspective. It's not bad, but I really have to watch what I'm doing with this load, because if something happens, this will be my first and last day on this job.
Now carefully lower the container. When you reach the target height, release the twist locks. Don't pop the locks open prematurely, because this may result in an emergency. The green and yellow lights together indicate that the container is stable. You can now release the twist locks.
And there it is. The first container is in place. Time for the second one. Hopefully I can pick up the pace a bit now. Did you notice those UI overlays that pop up? When I get close to a container, or when I'm lowering it to the ground, it shows the distance, the crane's alignment, and whether the spreader is locked or not. Honestly, it's super useful. Because of that, I could technically stay in first person the whole time, but I prefer third person. I like being right in the middle of the action, and FP just doesn't quite give me that same feel when I'm operating this thing. We have a problem here. It looks like this container is bigger than the last one. Maybe the game will tell me what I'm supposed to do from Haris.
The crane spreader is currently configured to grab standard 20-foot containers. You need to extend the spreader to grab a 40-foot or a double TEU container.
What would I do without you?
Tommy, if you're not done yet, you better hurry. That storm is gonna hit any minute now.
You're right on time. All but done.
And you didn't even turn my port into a disaster zone. Not bad.
Yeah, I'll be gone before I get a chance to disappoint you.
Or you could stay and not disappoint me.
Right. Think about that.
That's my boy.
All right, here's my strategy for these containers. I drive the crane until I'm centered right over the middle, and the second that light turns green, I start dropping. Just a few small adjustments, and that's it. There you go. See? Easy. The first mission wasn't too hard. Like I said, I think I would have handled hard mode just fine, but I still don't know how the financial side of this game works, so I stuck with standard. I have to admit though, that's the easiest $25,000 I've ever made. Day 1 in the books. Now that the first contract is finished, I'm genuinely curious to see how the game scales from here. Will the cargo get heavier, or are they going to throw some dynamic weather into the mix to make the physics feel a lot twitchier? It's time to see if the shipyard offers any upgrades for the crane, or if I'm stuck with this base model for a while longer.
Tommy, are you in already?
Yes, Dad. This place is a mess.
You're telling me? I'm just starting to tally up the damage. We're lucky at least some of our stuff is still okay.
So, what do we do?
You can start taking care of the jobs on your list. See those letterheads? Enough for 2 jobs, which is your daily limit for now. Now, could you put away that dangerous cargo unloaded from that container ship?
Sure thing.
It looks like there's plenty more to dive into. I noticed the map has various locations: the shipping line, the power plant, Yard B, and Yard C. But curiously, no sign of Yard A. Everything is currently at level 1, which definitely confirms there's an upgrade path to look forward to. I'm really curious to see what else this game throws at us, and honestly, I'm itching to get behind the wheel of some of the other machinery to see how they handle compared to the crane.
I'm ready to go.
Good. Now get those containers to the free lot. Gently.
Yeah, I remember. One puncture and we'll never hear the end of it.
Yep, something like that.
Nice.
I was spot on. It turns out there's a whole variety of machines to operate, and I have to say, the immersion factor here is great. Being able to physically walk up to a different vehicle and hop right into the seat adds a level of realism that makes the whole world feel way more connected. It's not just hopping through menus. It feels like you're actually there on the yard floor. That's a huge detail. Being able to turn on the headlights means night shifts are definitely on the menu, and having wipers for the rain makes it clear the devs didn't hold back on the atmospheric conditions. I'm hooked already, and I've barely scratched the surface with only 2 missions under my belt. Alright, let's kick off this mission. The driving feels incredibly smooth. I don't feel that heavy, sluggish weight that some of the vehicles in Roadcraft have. It's responsive, and that makes maneuvering around the yard feel much more fluid and less of a constant fight against the physics engine. I have to be honest with myself. I might not be a natural at this, but I'm incredibly proud that I've made it this far without a single scratch on the equipment. Keeping that 0 damage record intact while navigating this yard feels like a massive achievement, especially since I have no idea how much harder things are going to get as the missions progress. It feels good to know that I have the patience to handle this equipment carefully, and I really hope I can keep this streak alive as the challenges start piling up. I'm seeing it right now. I have to be dead center to latch onto this container. No two ways about it. It's a real test of my spatial awareness, especially since I'm trying to keep my record clean. I'm gonna take my time and line this up properly before I even think about hitting the lift button. The controls are still feeling a bit awkward and definitely different from the crane, but I'm gonna figure this out.
Hey, Tommy, that you driving the reach stacker right now?
Yeah, it's me all right.
Great. Can you check if I left my player on the dash?
Wow, you're still using that thing.
Of course, it was Dad's. His taste in music wasn't as good as mine, though.
So you kept the recording too?
Come on, when you make it big, I'm running your fan club. I'm dead serious, though. Your music's good. I just wish there were more than 2 people who knew about it. So I put together a little video with yesterday's cam feeds and your music and posted it online.
Well, tell me if it gets any views. Anyways, gotta get back to work.
Good luck.
You saw it. Slick move. Smart thinking, cutting that bit out and just using a clean transition to the finish. It totally sells the image that I didn't even break a sweat, even if we both know how much fine-tuning it actually took to get that placement perfect. Honestly, there's no shame in a little movie magic to keep the gameplay looking as smooth as it feels.
First container is in place. I'm going for the second.
Good. Keep the pace.
The first container is officially delivered, and that feels like a huge win. Now that I've got that under my belt, I'm ready to track down the second one. It's time to find where that next piece of cargo is hiding, and keep this momentum going. I'm not stopping until the whole shipment is in its place. I've realized that the reason this rear wheel steering feels so much tighter is all about the pivot point. By putting the steering on the rear wheels, I'm effectively moving the axis of rotation further back on the chassis. This makes the front of the machine behave like a giant arm that swings wide, letting me tuck the machine into tight corners instead of needing a massive radius to pull a standard turn. It's exactly why specialized equipment like this, or even forklifts, is designed this way. It's all about working in cramped spaces without having to back up and realign a dozen times.
Looks like I'll have to tilt the spreader to pick this one up.
Man, look at that last container just sitting there. I've been hauling stuff across this yard for what feels like an eternity. My virtual back is aching, and my digital eyes are practically crossing from staring at these cargo hooks all shift. But I've made it this far with a 0 damage record. And I'm definitely not going to let some end-of-shift fatigue mess that up now. I'm just gonna muscle through this last drop-off so I can finally clock out and park this beast for the night. Yeah, I can already tell this last one is gonna be a real pain to line up. I'm definitely going to save myself the headache and just cut the struggle part out again. I'll just let the transition do the heavy lifting so it looks like I handled it like an absolute pro. See you on the other side of that edit.
I'm on the last one.
Great. Bring it over and take a break. I guess it's good to have you back. Maybe.
Good to see you too.
Man, that last one was a total pain in the neck. Since the container was sitting on a slant, and I'm definitely still not a pro with these controls, I was fighting the machine the whole time. I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to level out the crane arm to match the tilt, so it was basically just a messy game of trial and error. I honestly barely scraped by, but hey, a win is a win, and the record stays clean, right? Still 0 damage! Honestly, I'm shocked I've managed to keep the streak alive through that tilted nightmare. I'm feeling pretty pumped, but also a little nervous. Now that this job is wrapping up, I'm genuinely curious what the game is going to throw at me next. If this was just the warm-up, the next mission might be absolute chaos.
One job down.
Well done.
I think I'm done here.
Good. You're right on time, too. You're taking over while I negotiate our funding. I'm giving you full access to what funds we have.
We don't have much.
Should be enough to clean up after the hurricane. You can start with ordering repairs for the shipping line. Good job. Now you have access to the shipping jobs. You only have one job left to complete today.
That's the reality of it, right? Just when I thought I'd finally caught a break after fixing that shipping line, the bank account is already looking thin again. Back to the grind. It's clear this machine is going to be my new best friend for a while, so I really need to stop fumbling through these controls and start truly mastering them. Even if this next mission looks like a total headache, I'm actually feeling pretty confident. I think I finally got the feel for it. And as long as I stay patient, I'm going to breeze through this without breaking my streak. If slow and steady is the secret, then I'm officially the world's most zen operator. At this rate, by the time I actually drop the container, the original owner of the cargo might have already retired, moved to a beach in Florida, and forgotten this shipment ever existed. It's hilarious how I'm out here performing virtual open-heart surgery with a machine that weighs as much as a small skyscraper, all while praying to the gaming gods that I don't give the thing a little love tap that destroys my 0 damage strike. If I were paid by the hour in real life with this level of precision, I'd probably be buying my own fleet of cargo ships by the end of the night. So now we're basically playing Cargo Tetris the grumpy version because of this red cargo. I've got a container sitting exactly where it shouldn't be, and honestly, that's just rude. Now I've got to wrangle this red container and find it a decent place to retire. Leaving it smack dab in the middle of the parking lot would be a total eyesore, and honestly, that's just painful to look at. I'm not saying I'm the kind of person who organizes their socks by color, but leaving stuff scattered everywhere like it's a yard sale gone wrong is just not my style. I'm gonna hunt down a proper home for this thing, if only so my brain can stop screaming at the chaos. I spent so much time wandering around trying to find the perfect spot for this container that I'm pretty sure 10 actual minutes of gameplay just vanished into thin air. But hey, I finally parked it, so if the video cuts weirdly, just consider it a creative edit to hide the fact that I was doing my best impression of a lost driver in a giant metal box. Finally, the urban planning phase is over. Now that I've actually carved out some breathing room, it's time to get back to the real business. Time to grab that yellow container and slide it into the spot where the red one used to be. Slow and easy, that's the mantra. No sudden movements, no crane rage, just smooth, steady, and drama-free operation. If I move any slower, the game might actually think I've gone AFK, but hey, at least that yellow container is going to land in its new home without me having a heart attack. Patience is a virtue, especially when you're moving heavy metal in a parking lot, or when you can edit the boring part out. To be fair, I actually kind of enjoy the grind. It's oddly satisfying when it finally clicks. But I know the average viewer has the attention span of a goldfish on caffeine. Looking at my stats, I'm basically performing for a ghost town. With 10 to 12 views and absolutely nobody making it past the 2-minute mark, I'm basically whispering into the void. It's actually kind of liberating though. I'm safe from the professional critics because, well, nobody is even listening. But hey, on the off chance that some brave soul actually is watching this and made it this far, first of all, who are you and are you okay? Do me a solid. Drop a comment. Just say hi. Or yell at me for my crane skills. Or tell me to speed it up. Give my notifications tab something to do besides collect dust, just so I know there's a human on the other side of the screen. And with that, the Greek container is finally home, and I'm calling it a day before I lose my mind to industrial geometry. Honestly, thanks for sticking around and watching this whole saga. If you actually made it to the end, you're officially the MVP of my channel. I know these crane operating adventures are a slow burn, but I really hope you enjoyed the process as much as I did. If you did enjoy it, or if you just felt bad for my lack of viewers and want to throw me a bone, don't forget to hit that like button and drop a comment below. Seriously, let me know what you thought, or just say hi so I know I'm not just talking to my own shadow. It really does mean a lot to see someone actually hanging out here. Anyway, I'll be back with more chaotic cargo management soon, so make sure to stick around for the next
All
one.
done here.
Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next shift.
All done. I think I could handle another job or two.
That would be against regulations. Get some rest. You'll have more jobs tomorrow.